I'm just asking.
Okay, all right.
No, I'm just asking.
That's a good point. Because
I think it's kind of disrespectful.
They can't control me. You get what I'm saying? They can control Shaq. They can control Charles Barkley. They can control LeBron James. They can control Jay-Z and Beyonce.
But not you, man.
But they can't control me.
The unexpected feud between NBA legend Shaquille O'Neal and Kanye West is reaching epic proportions as Shaq appears to have escalated the matter. The former Laker wasn't happy with a tweet that Kanye made and seemingly goaded him into a physical fight. Most fans were surprised at the turn of events as they least expected Shaq to want to have a go at Kanye. Even more surprising was Kanye West's response to Shaq's unprovoked taunts. But what has left everyone bewildered is the NBA legend's apparent threats against Kanye West. What did Shaq say? And how did Kanye West respond? I'll unravel the seemingly complicated situation between the rapper and the baller. So don't blink, or you might miss a thing. Now let's get started.
And I look at Kanye and I say, you know what? I know what he's going through. You know why I know what he's going through? Because I used to be a narcissist.
February is a month of love, and everywhere across the globe, many people are settling their quarrels and quenching their feuds as they bask in the glory of love and passion. People who couldn't settle their feuds or conflicts suspended them just to enjoy the peace and solemnity that comes with love. But not Kanye West and Shaquille O'Neal. While everybody was enjoying this year's Super Bowl and NBA All-Star Weekend, these two men decided to fan the flames of conflict and air out their grievances on social media. It all began when Kanye West made a seemingly harmless tweet praising those who were with him during his tough times. If you would remember last year, Kanye West made a few anti-Semitic tweets, which angered a lot of citizens. Initially, he defended his tweets, but later apologized for them after enormous pressure from fans, celebrities, and businessmen across the globe. However, his apologies were a little too late, as the rapper lost a lot of money and his music got removed from certain platforms. Anyway, more on that later. But fast forward to this February, and Kanye sent out this tweet. Dove Charney is my brother and me and my wife's business partner when Jamie Salter and everyone else wouldn't take my calls. He let me sleep at his factory. Dove Charney, Jonah Hill, and John Raffman are three people who inspired my apology. The tweet was in praise of the former garments manufacturing company owner Dove Charney and a shade at Jamie Salter. Now, Jamie Salter is the business partner of Shaq O'Neal, so the basketball star may not have taken it lightly that West was shading his business partner. So, he replied in the comments, "Who cares? Stop nagging and snitching. I know you saw me at the Super Bowl. I was waiting for you to say something smart. Man up. Nobody want to see a crying man up, lil boy." This comment surprised many fans as they least expect Shaq to come for West in that manner. Besides, the shade was meant for his business friend Jamie Salter and not him. So many commenters were wondering what was going on. They criticized Shaq for his comments, forcing the NBA legend to delete his comment. However, trust journalists and fans to screenshot the comments and use them as receipts later. Meanwhile, a few fans took the time to explain the reason for the Twitter showdown between the two celebrities. According to the fans, Kanye referenced Shaq in one of his songs, insinuating that the former baller had something to do with the Illuminati, and since then, Shaq hasn't particularly liked him. This wasn't the first time the NBA legend was at loggerheads with the rapper. In 2022, Kanye West took a swipe at Shaq when he talked about his business relationship with Jamie Salter on Twitter. Kanye wrote, "Jamie first said he's 50-50 with David Beckham and 50-50 with Shaq. I said Jamie. There's no such thing as 50-50 in business. Who has the extra 1% for the control and voting rights?" West was apparently advising the ex-basketball star to insist on getting a 51% share in their business, so he would have total control and voting rights. In West's view, a 50-50 share wouldn't be in the interest of Shaq, as it would be difficult to control things, especially if the company is his baby. However, Shaq didn't like the idea of taking advice from someone whose marriage was on the rocks and whose family was in shambles. So he replied to the rapper on Twitter, "Believe me, you don't know me like that. Worry about your business." And to quote the once great Kanye West, "I got more money than you. So why would I listen to you? Take my advice to get your family business in order. Have a great day, brother." In an interview with People.com, Shaq revealed why he stayed classy, even though Kanye's words riled him up. According to him, his mother was the reason he kept his cool because she had always advised him to stay calm during conflicts. "If I make a statement, I have the ability to travel through time and watch my mom as she watches it on TV," he said. "So I don't say what I really want to say because she'd get upset. She'd say, 'Baby, stop it.'" He also explained how his upbringing molded him into becoming the fine gentleman he is today. According to him, his stepfather, Philip, was quite a disciplinarian, while his mother, Lucille, would give him disapproving looks anytime he erred. He said that his mother still keeps him grounded, though he's a grown man and can make his own decisions. From 9 through 17, there were a lot of frowns, he said. People are lucky my mother's still on Earth, because if she wasn't here, I'd be effing reckless. I really would, so Shaq and Kanye's beef didn't start today. It has at least been 2 years in the making, and it all came to a head when Shaq gave that acidic reply in the since-deleted post. Interestingly, the two celebrities were in attendance during the Super Bowl on Sunday. Eagle-eyed and anxious fans expected a physical altercation between the two, but they avoided each other. Instead, Taylor Swift became the focus of the two male celebrities. Before the game, Shaq expressed his desire to meet and shake hands with Taylor Swift, and he finally achieved his dream when the two met, with the paparazzi capturing the golden moment. Kanye West, on the other hand, bought a seat near Taylor Swift and sat there for some time before leaving his seat. His absence led to several speculations, with former NFL star Brandon Marshall claiming that Kanye was removed from his seat because he was distracting Taylor Swift. Speaking on the Paper Route podcast, he narrated, Kanye West pulls up to Vegas. Kanye West buys a ticket to right in front of Taylor Swift's booth, so anytime they were going to be showing Taylor Swift, Kanye's face was going to be there. He's got a mask on with his logo on the mask. Typical Kanye, he continued. Taylor Swift gets pissed off. She boom makes a call or two. Everybody's involved. He gets kicked out the stadium. He was trying to leverage her celebrity. That's what he tried to do. He tried to sit in front of Taylor Swift. However, pictures and video from the game proved otherwise, as the rapper was seen at different times and with different people at the stadium after he left his seat. One video making rounds on the internet showed the Flashing Lights singer hanging out with singer-songwriter Ty Dolla $ign and Anderson .Paak at a luxury suite. The three guys were seen sharing pleasantries, with Kanye looking happy, a sign that showed he was enjoying himself. The rapper and fashionista was also seen watching the game when it was already in the third quarter, so fans were left wondering exactly the moment he was removed from the stadium. Meanwhile, the rapper bought a $7 million ad slot to promote his Yeezy pods. The advert itself was low budget, as he spent all the money he had on the ad. Kanye has been struggling since he lost $2 billion after Adidas dropped him for his anti-Semitic tweets last year. According to the rapper and business mogul, he was 2 months away from filing for bankruptcy when he had the idea to put his all into the Super Bowl ad slot, a move that seemingly paid off. But I'll tell you about all that later. In the meantime, Brandon's speculations that Kanye was thrown out of the stadium elicited a response from the rapper's corner, with one rep noting that all the hullabaloo about Kanye's removal from the stadium was fabricated. The rapper himself rubbished the rumors by labeling it a figment of someone's wild imagination. I didn't get kicked out of the Super Bowl. We left our seats to go to YG's box and see different friends. My wife had never been to a Super Bowl, so I wanted to walk around and have a nice time. We had such a fun day. It is interesting to note that aside from Brandon, nobody or media outlet makes those allegations, calling his reputation into question. However, Shaq and Kanye's beef was still raging after the NBA legend's sharp remarks to Kanye, asking him to stop nagging and man up. Kanye also came up with a few replies of his own, but they were nothing short of disappointing, as many fans expected him to respond with sharper quips. He wrote, "Oh, and to Shaq. I grew up looking up to you. I would love to hang with you and Jamie sometime. Jamie Salter is like a father figure to me." As disappointing as Kanye West's response was, many fans found it tasteless that he would shift his attention to Taylor Swift. For example, one obvious Taylor Swift fan asked users to stream Beyoncé's new album, Texas Hold'em, so that it overshadows Kanye's single, Carnival. Thus, Beyoncé would top the Billboard 100 chart instead of the rapper. According to the fans, Kanye jabbed their idol Taylor Swift on his album Vultures 1 and on social media, which is why they are on a campaign to ensure he doesn't top the charts. However, Kanye West fought back, explaining that the line the fan thought was referring to Taylor Swift wasn't even about the pop star at all. He then thanked the fan for promoting his new album. He wrote on Twitter, "When I said that I'm the new Jesus, I wasn't even thinking about Taylor Swift. That was a whole line before, but I appreciate the free promo." The rapper then addressed his relationship with Taylor Swift, praising the pop singer and Beyoncé for their achievements and contributions to the entertainment. He wrote, "Remember I was on Taylor's side when Scooter bought her masters behind her back. She and Beyoncé are big inspirations to all musicians. We always say how both sell out tours and movies." In a bid to cozy up to Taylor Swift fans, Kanye claimed that his new album Vultures 1 features Lil Wayne, who mentioned Swift's boyfriend, Travis Kelce, in the track. He then went ahead to write about his woes last year after he wrote the anti-Semitic tweet. He narrated how they lost everything, including being removed from streaming platforms. According to him, hotels wouldn't allow him in, and neither would some restaurants or companies. He lost some good friends and some amazing partnerships, but thanked his children and new wife for seeing him through. He wrote, "Last year was incredibly challenging for me, my wife, my children, friends, and family. I've been banned from hotels, kicked out of companies, and even not allowed to eat in some restaurants." Kanye's recent problem, the one which led him to almost file for bankruptcy, began when he wore a shirt with the inscription "White Lives Matter." Many fans viewed this as a blatant defiance of the Black Lives Matter movement and support for the white supremacists who had also adopted the slogan. Many people, especially people of color, dragged the rapper online for abandoning his own people to please the white man. Celebrities were also not left out of the fray as they criticized the runaway rapper for his shenanigans. One of them was rapper and business mogul P. Diddy, who said in a video, "All America has planned for us is poverty, incarceration, and death," he said. "So before I can get to any other lives matter, Black Lives Matter, don't play with it." Film actress and producer Jamie Lee Curtis also added her voice, pleading with Kanye to stop posting offensive tweets against a particular group. She wrote, "The holiest day in Judaism was last week. Words matter. A threat to Jewish people ended once in a genocide. You are a father. Please stop." However, Kanye wouldn't be bothered, and later he sent out an anti-Semitic tweet threatening to end the Jews. The backlash was worse than when he wore the White Lives Matter shirt, as many fans, celebrities, and industry players tore into him. Many accused him of being insensitive to the plight of Jews over the centuries and using events that they would rather forget against them. Companies that did business with him immediately cut ties because none of them wanted to be associated with the comments he passed. The biggest among them was Adidas, the company for which he produced his Yeezy line. The next to drop the rapper was Balenciaga, who, according to Kanye, was collaborating with their Gap subsidiary. His lawyers and the law firm that were representing him in his high-profile divorce from his ex-wife Kim Kardashian also cut ties with him. His bankers JP Morgan Chase didn't want anything to do with him, while the Hollywood financier MRC cut relations with Kanye. One of the biggest clothing resale markets on the internet, The Real, bid the actor farewell, as well as fitness coach Alex Toussaint. The social media sites Twitter and Instagram, on which he repeatedly made anti-Semitic remarks, also blocked his accounts. Before the social media blackout, the rapper boasted close to 50 million fans when both sites were combined. Ye became broke, so he threw a Hail Mary. He paid $7 million for a Super Bowl ad, which only showed in a few markets, and then he spent $0 on the ad itself. The ad featured the rapper at the back of his car, basically telling people what he was selling. However, it worked like magic, at least according to Kanye West, as he cleaned $19 million in sales. The Gold Digger singer shared a text on social media platforms that showed how much he made selling his futuristic sock-like pods. The socks are foldable and could be worn as footwear. Another marketing move he pulled was to reduce the prices of the sock, which was selling at $200 to about $20. Many people praised Kanye as a marketing genius who pulled off a masterstroke, while others rubbished his achievements, explaining that he had a dedicated fan base who just came to his rescue. Kanye's $19 million masterstroke means that his head is slightly above water, but he continues to navigate the dangerous terrain of his financial woes. However, his row with Shaquille O'Neal and his antics both on and off social media isn't helping matters either. For example, his fight with Taylor Swift isn't helping matters either, as the Good Times rapper appears to be rubbing many people the wrong way. The feud between the two high-profile celebrities began in 2009 when Kanye interrupted Swift during her acceptance speech at the VMAs. Many people blamed the rapper's behavior on the bottle of Hennessy he was seen drinking at the event. On the night, Kanye West arrived at the venue with a bottle of Hennessy and was spotted taking some sips and passing the bottle around to a few celebrities, all while seated at the front row. Kanye was nominated in a couple of categories, while Taylor only had one category, Best Female Video of the Year, along with Beyoncé. Her announcement as the eventual winner surprised a few fans, with many tipping she would win. The songstress climbed the stage and received the award from Shakira and proceeded to make her speech. "Thank you so much," she began. "I always dreamed about what it would be like to maybe win one of these someday, but I never thought it actually would have happened. I sing country music, so thank you so much for giving me the chance to win a VMA award." All of a sudden, Kanye sprung up the stage, took the mic from the then 19-year-old Taylor, and proceeded to make one of his most infamous speeches of all time. "Yo, Taylor, I'm really happy for you. I'ma let you finish," he said. "But Beyoncé had one of the best videos of all time. One of the best videos of all time." Immediately, the cameras focused on Beyoncé's face, who opened her mouth in horror at the scene unraveling right before her very eyes. eyes. She could only muster the words, "Oh, Kanye," as the entire world was focused on her next reaction. The crowd in the auditorium booed the rapper, with many standing in their seats to give Taylor Swift an ovation. Meanwhile, the hapless country singer stood stupefied on stage for a few seconds, doing her best to put herself together. To save the situation, MTV, the organizers of the awards, went on a commercial break. According to onlookers, while they were on the break, Pink moved to Kanye and gave him a dress down for his unprovoked antics on stage. Shortly afterward, Kanye was escorted out of the building, to his surprise and exasperation. Paparazzi spotted the rapper spending the rest of the evening at the now-defunct Spotted Pig gastropub in New York City. Taylor Swift then went backstage and reportedly broke down in tears, even though she was scheduled to perform during the next segment of the show. She was later joined by Beyoncé, who also couldn't help but take part in the party of tears. Fortunately, the producers were able to get Taylor Swift ready for her performance, but fans noticed her voice was shakier than before. Right after the performance, Taylor Swift and her mother wanted to leave the auditorium, but the producers backstage begged them to stay. However, Beyoncé saved the day when she won the award for Video of the Year, and instead of making her own acceptance speech, she invited Taylor Swift to give hers. Taylor seized the opportunity to give the speech she intended to give before she was rudely interrupted by Kanye West. Meanwhile, Kanye was forced to issue a public apology to Taylor Swift and her fans. "I'm so sorry to Taylor Swift and her fans and her mom. I spoke to her mother right after, and she said the same thing my mother would have said. She is very talented. I like the lyrics about being a cheerleader and she's in the bleachers. I'm in the wrong for going on stage and taking away from her moment." However, he continued to defend his actions on the night, claiming that he thought Beyoncé's video was the best, not only of the year but of the decade. He apologized to his fans who might have felt offended or let down by his actions, and promised to say sorry to Taylor Swift the next day. Kanye then went into a long tirade where he claimed he was being victimized for speaking his truth. He explained that he wasn't crazy, as many celebrities, critics, and fans were making him out to be, but that he's just real. Thus, what he did at the show was in the best interest of everyone. He referenced the times he gave out his awards to people that he thought were more deserving of them to buttress his point. He wrote, "Welcome to the real world. Everybody wanna boo me, but I'm a fan of real pop culture. No disrespect, but we watching the show at the crib right now cause, well, you know, I'm still happy for Taylor. Boya, you are very, very talented. I gave my awards to Outkast when they deserved it over me. That's what it is. I'm not crazy, y'all. I'm just real. Sorry for that. I really feel bad for Taylor, and I'm sincerely sorry." Interestingly, Jay-Z pulled a similar stunt at this year's Grammy Awards when he lambasted the Recording Academy, organizers of the awards, for overlooking his wife, Beyoncé, for the Album of the Year. Jay-Z had been called to receive the Dr. Dre Global Impact when he took the opportunity to remind the Academy of his wife's record at the Grammys. The Empire State of the Mind crooner said, "I don't want to embarrass this young lady, but she has more Grammys than everyone and never won Album of the Year." Just as in Kanye's case, the cameras made their way to Beyoncé and focused on her face for her expression. The Sing Ladies crooner was visibly embarrassed as she looked at her husband making those statements on stage, but that wouldn't stop the multi-Grammy winner from making his speech. He then proceeded to blast other artists who won something on the night, claiming that some of them didn't deserve it. Many thought that Jay-Z's actions were unnecessary and that he was just grandstanding. Others also felt that his sense of entitlement was nauseating, given that all the previous winners of the Album of the Year award, especially those who won in the years when Beyoncé was nominated, deserved it. Though Jay-Z's actions were roundly criticized, it was in no way comparable to the flack that Kanye received for his 2009 indiscretion. Many even called Jay-Z a hypocrite, reminding him that he and his wife did nothing to support Kanye during his woes in 2009, especially when what he did was to call attention to Beyoncé. They claimed that Jay and Beyoncé should have at least recognized Kanye's efforts in 2009, but rather hanged him out to dry. Now that they'd seen that Kanye's actions could get results, they have followed suit. Meanwhile, Kanye's beef with Taylor Swift continued, with the rapper referencing her on his 2016 song Famous, which drew the anger of her supporters. In his new album Vultures 1, the rapper name-dropped a few famous people, including Taylor Swift. Once again, Taylor Swift's fans expressed their disgust at the rapper for constantly targeting their idol. So, they were happy when they saw Shaquille O'Neal's "Man up, lil' boy" comment. They were like, finally somebody who can stand up to Kanye West and his shenanigans. Many were happy that the former basketball star was ready to get all physical with the rapper if they ever crossed paths, and given Shaq's size compared to Kanye's, it would be more of a David against Goliath situation. But this time, Goliath takes the day. Interestingly, Shaq is a great fan of Taylor Swift and could go all out to defend her, the same way he defended his friend and business partner Jamie Salter. For now, Kanye appears to be afraid of a confrontation with Shaq and has resorted to singing the praises of Salter. Thus, many have surmised that now that Taylor is in the good books of Shaq, it is only a matter of time before Kanye quits jabbing the pop star. This brings us to the end of today's video. Thanks for watching.